serious fishermen as well as the novice looking for tips from the pros. Shake, Rattle, and Troll, brought to you by Bill Lute Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. I-17 and Camelback Road since 1927.
Yeah, we got the power, we got the speed. We're running wide open on a midsummer breeze. Freshwater, saltwater, watch out, boys. Bass Daddy Don's gonna make some noise. It's me and the boys gonna shake, rattle, and...
Now, here's your host, saltwater fisherman, the man that fears no fish, Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro, Don McDowell.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm Don McDowell. Welcome to Shake, Rattle, and Troll today. In-house with us, we have J.K.
Good morning, Bass Daddy.
Also known as Special K. We have John Sneed from All-Star Bass Tournament Circuits.
Good morning, Don. How are you today?
You know, I'm pretty good. I have to tell you, that is one of the largest pickup trucks I have ever seen in my life. It's about 2 feet shorter than a Bluebird school bus, J.K.
Yeah, I saw it sitting there.
I tried to get it in the handicap zone. He started talking about my heritage.
It's that compensation thing.
Yeah. Hey, we got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to talk about tuna fishing as we go through, but right now we're going to switch gears real quick and go to San Diego aboard the Malahini with Captain Bill. Captain, good morning. How are you, boss?
Hey, good morning, guys. How you guys doing this morning?
You know, we're good. We're sitting here looking at the dock counts and getting some reels greased up to come over and torment you guys next week. So it's all good. What's happening over there? We're seeing some pretty good numbers.
Well, earlier in the week, I can't speak for any of the overnight guys, but earlier in the week, the three-quarter day fleet had pretty decent fishing on the yellowfin and the yellowtail. We were fishing offshore. Past couple of days has been kind of down. I think that's due to boat traffic and things like that. But fishing for the most part's been fun. I mean, it's been really, really fun.
How's the bait situation with those anchovies washing up?
Sardines, basically, is what we're getting now.
Okay.
It's been pretty steady. Some days we'll roll up to the bait receivers and we get junk bait, but most of the time it's pretty decent bait that we're using.
Okay, great. So where are you guys headed today, and how many anglers do you have aboard?
We have 47 anglers. We're going to start at the Coronado Islands and work our way, if we need to, offshore. I don't think that'll happen today from what happened yesterday, but yesterday offshore for us, and pretty much for the fleet as far as three-quarter day goes was kind of slow. Well,
when you're talking about offshore, how many miles is that in reference to?
So Point Loma, we ran 24 miles out and 12 miles to the west, and then back home again.
Oh, that's a decent boat ride. That's not bad.
Yeah, well, it covered a lot of ground for 18 fish.
Oh man. Well, it looks like
we managed.
We're looking at the dock counts for yesterday, and you guys obviously are the premier three-quarter day boat over there and have been for years. You think it's just boat traffic?
To put it in perspective, Monday we got out with a full load, and I think we had 100 and hang on a second. 112 yellowfin. Yeah, we had 112 yellowfin tuna on Monday.
Wow.
And then on Tuesday, my eyes are hurting me.
Yeah.
Tuesday we had, my dad was telling me I wasn't here. We had 72 yellowfin tuna on Tuesday. Wednesday, 106? Yeah, I think Wednesday we had 106. And then Thursday we had a mixture of a lot of different stuff, yellowtail, like some bass and some barracudas and stuff like that.
Yeah, it looks like from the dock count I'm looking at now, the barracuda kind of put their heads down a little bit.
Well, we haven't been chasing barracuda. We've been offshore chasing yellowfin and yellowtail.
Makes sense to me.
That stuff was as close as 11 miles, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Oh, my God.
And then yesterday, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, it kind of slowed down a bit. And I think Friday we had 121 yellowtail, and then yesterday, we only had 18.
Wow.
That's why we're going to go to the rocks. There was 2 boats that fished the rocks yesterday. They did very, very, very well on the yellowtail. So we're going to start there, and if that doesn't pan out for us, then we're going to head south down to the pile. And then if that doesn't pan out, we're going to head out offshore. Bless you. We're going to head offshore. But that's it, man. That's it.
All right. Well, you guys have a safe trip, and we'll get in your face next week.
Hey, Don, you guys have a great day. It was a pleasure talking with you. Look forward to talking to you next week.
Absolutely, Captain Bill. Captain Bill on the Malahini. Check him out. Excellent boat. Good captains, good crew. You can catch them out at H&M Landing. It's a good day on the water.
Any day on the water is a good day.
That's right. My granddad years ago told me, he said, look, here's the way this works. Every day that you spend fishing, the good Lord doesn't count that against you.
then you should be about 22, Don.
Wow. Yeah.
I was just calculating my age, and I think I'm a teenager.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Well, I don't want to go backwards. I want it added on to the other end.
To the other end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to extend the expiration date. All righty, John Steed, man, thanks for playing along with us today. So,
thanks for having me.
Honor to have you here. All-Star's been around. I didn't know this until the other day. We were talking about it for 38 years.
Yeah.
Really?
Long time. Not me. It was another gentleman that started it.
That was back in the day of, Tom and Harry Morgan. And, they had Hunter Angler magazine for eons.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it's funny. I just fished a tournament down on the river out of Martinez last Saturday. And I was following a boat upriver, and I saw Arizona Hunter and Angler magazine sticker on the back of this boat.
That's an antique.
Yeah, yeah. And I pulled the guy over, and I said, where the hell did you get that sticker? Oh, can you say hell on the radio?
You just did.
Where the heck did you get that sticker?
There are 7 bad words that we can't say.
We're not going to even prompt you on any of those at the moment.
Okay, that's a good thing.
My bucket list is go to Sirius or XM so I can just be me.
Anyway, I followed this guy into a backwater up there into this channel, and I asked him, I said, where'd you get that sticker? He says, it was on the boat when I bought it. I said, well, where'd you buy the boat at? And he goes, in San Diego. So I don't know the history of the boat, but this gentleman bought the boat in San Diego, and it had one of our old stickers on it.
Good grief.
Yeah. It blew me away.
Man. Well, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's kind of start this up and do a roundup of last year. How was the season, the fish catching, and more so than that, I'd like to get your as we go through the program, get your thoughts on Roosevelt and some of the preemptive things that are happening over there to get that bass fishery back. Well,
let's start with the first part of that question last year and the fish catching. It was. No matter where you're at, you've got a certain group of anglers that always catch them.
Absolutely.
You hear about how bad Roosevelt is, how it's going by the wayside, how the gizzard chat are doing this and doing that. And then you'll have 4 or 5 teams come out and fish one of our tournaments and bring in 20-pound sacks.
Yeah, just whack them.
Yeah, so, which is it? Do I think Roosevelt's hurting? Yes, I do. Yeah. I really do. I think that it's a combination of things. I think it's the gizzard chat. I think it's the water level. I just think that it's a number of things, but, somebody always goes out and finds them and catches them. It's just the nature of the game.
Doing this for, we're moving into our 15th year, and I can't tell you how many fishing reports I've looked at, and you just have to chuckle. It just depends on who they talk to. Because you're talking, you've got 4 teams out there whacking bass. You got another 20 teams, fishing suck.
Yep, exactly.
Now, whoever talks to which angler, that's a fishing report.
Well, that's true. And being in the seat, we'll call it, that I am, being a tournament director for All-Star Bass, I get to talk to all of them. And believe me, there's those certain teams out there. There's that handful of teams that every once in a while they'll come in scratching their head.
once in a while. It's called fish. It's like Captain Bill's talking. The Pacific Ocean is just a giant lake. It's no different than Pleasant or
Absolutely.
Roseville. It's got the same problems, and it's kind of interesting. As big as that place is, start talking about boat traffic.
Yes, exactly.
That was what really blew me away.
Well,
was the boat traffic was so high.
Yeah,
tell
this
you
is
what.
the Pacific
Yeah.
Ocean we're talking about here.
Yeah.
But, I lived in San Diego most of my life and did a lot of fishing out of that area. And if you could do it, going out during the week was always the time to go. Because
Wednesday.
Exactly. When it comes to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it is a circus out there.
Well, that's our game plan next week. I'm taking Brother Patrick and my son Donnie over there. We're with Jimmy Dwight and some other knuckleheads that we haven't met yet. But they're going to be knuckleheads. We're heading out early Thursday morning and on the Sea Adventure Radio. And, that's kind of the thing is stay away from Saturdays,
Yeah.
for your first day. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that all makes a big difference come time to get bait and everything,
Well,
so.
fishing on the Malahini, you're subject to open party boats, but those guys do a hell of a job. And Wednesday absolutely is the best day.
Absolutely.
All righty, we're going to stand down. Thanks some of our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about politics. You have an update for us, JK?
Oh, I think I can give you an update.
Very cool. All righty, hey, stay with us and support the sponsors. I'm Don McDowell with
John Sneed.
Special K.
We'll be back.
Make our own whiskey and our own smoke too. Ain't too many things these old
Strikes
boys
back.
can't
All righty, we're back. There's some hard-hitting San Diego music for you, John.
I appreciate that.
Before we get started here, let me give you a quick rundown of what we were talking about. I'll just give you some light dock totals. So we're going to try to talk to Rick over at the tackle shop. The 3/4 day boats, which the Malahini is, and there's some other boats running. They had 6 half and 3/4 day boats out yesterday. I don't see how many anglers there were, but let's just say all the boats were full. 24 yellowfin, 238 yellowtail, just off the 3/4 day boats.
Nice.
And then they had a Dorado and
That's a whole lot of fish coming on.
yeah, it is. The 1 day dock total, 151 anglers. You guys can do the math on this because what we start looking at is how many fish per stick. 480 yellowtail, which is a screamer, 166 yellowfin. What's interesting is I'm not seeing too many bluefin, but
They're not in yet.
yeah, they are. I think they took a turn and headed up north.
They bypassed San Diego.
Yeah, all these guys follow a current, and we'll talk to Rick and see what the patty situation is for the yellowtail and that kind of stuff. Earlier in the year, there wasn't a lot of patties that had pulled up off the bottom, which are, wads of kelp, let's say. And pretty interesting. But anyway, my point being, it's time to go fishing. I mean, if you've waited, it's here.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any better. And from here on out, depending on what this weather pattern does, we may have an extended bite all clear through October. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
It would. But this year it gets interrupted because we have 4 deer tags.
Well, my heart bleeds for you.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know whether to praise God or the commission.
I'll tell you what, if they're up in 3A, 3C, we're going to have a blast.
Well, it's interesting. We're going to get my young grandson Mason and my son Donnie, his dad, have tags. Brother Patrick has a tag. So I just hope I get to, use a bunch of skinning knives. It's all good.
If it's up in 3A, 3C, I'm taking Mason. We'll see you later.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
You guys go play on your own. Mason and I will go do something.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, you'll have to go far to find somebody that's more dedicated than that kid is. Man, he's on it.
We'll jump in the Prius. We'll head down the road. We'll see you later.
Yeah, there's a hot truck. All right, back to you, Big God.
Well, what were we talking about? I forgot. This box of Dunkin' Donuts sitting here is like a drop shot with a robo-worm on it to me.
Double D's for John.
You know, we need to get rid of this.
No, we start our day with Dunkin'. You know,
that's killing me right there.
You know, bass tournaments run on Dunkin'.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
You know, I'm talking to the folks at Dunkin' Donuts and explaining to them that there's three things that bass anglers do. We drink coffee in the morning. Some of us drink coffee all day. We have a donut in the morning. And at the end of the day, we have a hot dog.
There's actually several other things, but we won't go there today on the show.
We can discuss on the air.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, All-Star's going through some changes. Nothing bad, I don't think, anyway. You know, we're going to be back this year as strong as ever, maybe stronger. We'll get our schedule out next week. I gave you a copy of it this morning. And we just had some ducks to get in a row. We have, you know, some sponsors that are pulling back and some that are coming in, and you know, we're just getting all of our stuff together for the new season. But I want to tell all the listeners out there and all of our anglers that we will be back, and we will be back strong. Not that we ever got weak. We were just going through some changes.
No, you guys have, you know, run, you know, in my opinion, you know, the best circuit out there. You know, I think the number of boats that you guys draw, you know, kind of backs that up, obviously.
Well, you know, it's I've been doing this for a real long time. Longer than I even care to talk about. But we have such a core group of good people. I mean, we've got some people that come rain, come shine, no matter what it is, they're there fishing with us. And I appreciate those people so much, and so does Janet. You know, our core group is just so good, and we have people come, we have people go. But we'll be here. You know, we're not going anywhere, so come and fish us.
How many boats did you average last year off the top of your head? I know it's hard to gauge. But.
Well, actually, Janet has all those numbers, and I believe that we averaged 67.
Wow.
You know, we start out the season always in the 80s, and we end up in the 50s, middle 50s at the end of the year. So, you know, I mean, and we're happy with that. You know, the days, I believe, honestly, the days of the 100-boat tournaments are gone. They're behind us.
Well, there's a lot of people who figure out that they don't belong out there.
Absolutely.
And all they're doing is just writing a check.
Well, there's that, and you know, there's a lot of circuits. There's a lot of choices out there, and we appreciate the people that choose us for choosing us. You know, there are a lot of choices. There didn't used to be that. That's why the 100-boat days, I believe, are gone.
I'd like to see them come back. I don't know what it's going to take to get it back. 'Cause, JK, you start looking at tournaments. What's your full boat all-in tournament fee?
Well, if you want to really step up to the plate, and if you qualify, if you're 90 years old between the two teammates for our senior tees, it's $550.
Wow.
Geez, Don, you and I could qualify for octogenarian. We'd be over 130 for crying out loud.
But now back that up for a second. Our basic entry is only $165.
Yeah.
We're as cheap, if not cheaper, than everybody else in town.
Well, if you don't get any options, and I've learned this the hard way, you know, sometimes you get out the lake and you're not in a good mood, and you haven't been able to pre-fish, so you don't get in the big fish option, and you win
that's
big
when you
fish.
get one.
Oh yeah, it's like going to the casino and not putting in $20 as you walk out the door. I mean, it's like stupid.
Yep.
Well, you're betting against yourself,
exactly.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if you can't get in the big fish option or some of the other options, keep your boat parked in the driveway.
Yeah.
It's real simple.
You know, but I want to back it up with what you started with that. At 4:00 in the morning, I've never met an angler in an angry mood or anything.
Never.
No, they're all, you know, chippy and
very pleasant.
Yeah, dancing around and
at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
I have to ask you, how many times have you heard, "Hey, what time's safe light?"
You know, I can't even imagine how many times.
You know, I had to laugh. That was, if you asked Randy McElrath that, Randy would absolutely snap. Not just once and get it out of his system every time.
Really?
Yes. 5 guys ask him, he'd go off 5 times.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And he'd still be mumbling and griping at the end of the day at weigh-in.
Wait a minute. Safe flight is usually like 5 minutes after daybreak, correct?
You can take...
Unless cloud cover comes.
Here's the way you figure that. You look at your sunrise chart, deduct 20 minutes. That's about when...
add 20 minutes.
Deduct. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I do it different than that. I have a buddy of mine in Yuma that runs tournaments, and he says if he can look down and see his feet when he's standing in his boat, it's safe flight.
Yeah.
If I'm in my boat, being the start boat, and I'm calling numbers, when I can see the shoreline all the way across the lake, that's safe flight.
Bam, go.
Yeah, because I know they can make it over there and be safe.
Some of these guys come in from California. FLW drives me nuts. I mean, by the time they get to call go, you could be down at Denny's, having a senior special, get to the lake, and at 7 o'clock or 7:15 in the summertime, they'll finally let you go.
I don't qualify for the senior special, so I'd have to have a Grand Slam. Unless I was with you, you could buy for us.
Nice. Yeah. The problem I have with the seniors is not the discount, but it's the food portion size.
Yeah, it's for a bird.
Yeah. You haven't noticed that?
I don't ever go.
Well, it shows.
Yeah, it's all good. Also, when's your championship this year and what lake? Have you picked it?
Oh, man, you know what? I left the dates out there in my truck. Yeah, we're going to be first day at Apache, second day at Windy Hill at Roosevelt.
Ooh, yeah.
That is... we started doing that a couple of years ago, and the anglers really, really seem to like it. It'll be in September, like Friday and Saturday. I'm going to say the third week in September, but don't hold me to that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get it out, and it'll be up on your website.
Yeah, absolutely.
All righty, hey, we're going to thank some more of our sponsors, including Bill Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. You need to go down and drive the new 1500 with the Eco Diesel in it, 28 miles a gallon.
I understand. It's coming.
Okay. All right. All righty. We'll be right back.
No Batman and Robin take the place of the NFL.
Catch us if you can. Time to get a move on.
Yeah, Yellowtail, man. Catch me if you can.
Yeah, they are.
Welcome if you got them. All righty. How much offshore did you do out of San Diego?
Oh, back in the day, quite a lot. Being born and raised there, I had a lot of friends that had boats.
Nice.
Yeah, so, the middle of the week thing and all that stuff was real common back in the day.
Good stuff.
Yeah, we used to go down and do the Cabo, the Big Bill thing and all that stuff.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, so we used to have a good time, but since I moved to Arizona 15 years ago, I've lost contact with a lot of those guys.
It's kind of... as good as the fishing is and as close as we are, sometimes, JK and I have a problem during the middle of the week running our business and doing this.
Exactly.
And that. It seems like we're inundated with how many meetings a month do we go to?
Oh, don't even want to think about it. I've got 3 this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I talk to Don, he's off to some meeting somewhere.
Yeah,
I got a real quick story, though. At the Bill Luke Big Bass Days, I pulled in and we had our All-Star tournament the weekend prior, so I stayed the whole week and got to do some fishing with a friend of mine, Cody Nugent.
That's where I know you from. You were the one who kept coming back to the beer tent. I knew I knew him.
There you go. Okay, cat's out of the bag.
I was just going to say it's out of the bag. So anyway, I'm sitting there camping, and my French Brittany had just had puppies. So I had all the puppies out there in this little pen thing. And these 4 people, these 2 men and 2 women come walking up, and they're looking at the puppies and everything. And I'm sitting there talking to somebody. I don't know who I was talking to in a lawn chair. And all of a sudden, this big old guy with this big giant beard looks up at me like he's going to come over and whip my butt. And he walks over and he looks at me like a dog would look at something, And he sticks his hand out and he goes, "Johnny Sneed, how are you?" And I recognized the voice immediately. It was a guy, Randy Vincent, a guy I went all through school with. His son was over here for spring training with the Padres, and he was there for a whole month. Haven't seen the guy since we graduated high school.
Man.
Oh, my.
And he tells me, he says, "I got a 26-footer. He says, "You need to get over here and we'll go fishing."
Yeah, baby.
He says, "Don't bring no tackle. Don't bring nothing. Let's just go." So he's definitely on my to-call list.
Absolutely. Here's the phone right here.
Yeah, right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, go, man.
I will hook us up with him for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, back in, a few years ago, I was crewing for Performance Charters, Captain James over there, and he was running small boats, 26, 28, 32-footers. And, boy, the last time he and I were out, we had a camera guy. In fact, Gilbert Archibald was running the camera and getting sick and puking all over the deck. And, I mean, poor Gilbert, I felt bad for him. We ran 176 miles in a cat.
Nice.
Catamaran haul.
Nice.
It was bumpy out. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if we'd have been in a regular monohull,
Yeah.
it would have been ugly.
Yeah.
That's the only time that I've caught and released albacore.
Wow. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you?
No, we didn't have any more room. I mean, the coolers and it was just, we had way too many fish.
Yeah. How long ago was that, though?
That was 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
They tease us every once in a while and get close enough where you can go out and get them in a little boat.
You know, I don't get this whole albacore thing. You know, and the more you study, the more I figured out that the fish biologists, they don't have a clue what these damn things do. None.
Well, they follow the currents, they follow the warm water, they follow this, they follow that. And I'm no biologist, but I don't think they do that. I think they do what they want when they want.
Pretty much.
I think they follow the bait, is what I think.
Well, that's why I was asking Captain Bill there on the Malahini, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
The, just an oil slick looking batch of anchovies showed up at the Scripps Institute Pier. I mean, millions.
Millions.
No
millions
kidding.
And the
of
sharks
things.
were right there with them.
Wow.
Yeah, he says lemon sharks and, whatever. It starts with an S, ends with a K. I'm not getting in the water. I'm sorry. Whatever.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's all good. So let's talk about next year. When are you going to kick off the 2014-15 season?
We're going to start October 25th at Bartlett, which is really traditional for us. We do that every year.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know, because I do know, and I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, because it's closer to town. And
You mean you've been lying to me all the rest of the time?
Yeah, I worry about that.
man, these donuts look good.
Hope so.
No, we've always started at Bartlett. It was something that, after our first year, when Jan and I took All-Star over, we took it over after the season had started. And we had Tom kind of help us through the next 3 or 4 tournaments, and we just sat back and learned. Even though we knew how to run tournaments, we sat back and learned what the anglers here in the Phoenix area want.
Well, from Tom, you needed to learn what not to do. I'm just saying.
Love
the guy, but
I wasn't going there, Don. But anyway, it's just tradition for us to start at Bartlett because it's more centrally located. A lot of people. I can't believe he's doing that.
I can. Go ahead. Keep going.
That just gives me chills.
Oh, never mind. Moving along.
It's more centrally located, and we want. Well, if you look at our schedule, we've been accused of being a Roosevelt only tournament. I think we're going to every lake there is in the region this year, and going to Roosevelt only 2 times. We're going to start at Bartlett, then we go to Roosevelt, then Apache, Saguaro, Pleasant,
Alamo's
Alamo.
going to be pretty iffy.
Yeah, and it always is every year, and we'll change that if need be to some place.
Yeah, I think the Corps of Engineers are going to see to it that lake is just totally lost.
Yeah, and that's just a shame.
It is.
That's
we've had the ongoing battle, and I don't want to get started on that again with the Bill Williams Water Authority and the Corps of Engineers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Eh.
Yeah. So, I think we have a pretty good schedule. We're going to hit some lakes at some pretty prime times. I would love to see Pleasant come back to what it once was, or even half of what it once was.
Any of the lakes.
Well, exactly. I mean, Saguaro's kicking out some toads and a number of fish. And Apache. Apache is just awesome.
I think all the work that we did on Apache
absolutely
really bounced back.
Absolutely. And I would like to see that same thing happen at Roosevelt. The problem with Roosevelt, in my opinion, is the water fluctuates too much.
It does. That's one of it. But
Gizzard Shad's the other.
And lack of habitat. In fact, all of our lakes, you can look at Bartlett, Roosevelt, Apache. Apache's doing pretty good on habitat. Swarth has some artificial habitat, but the rest of it, Pleasant, Roosevelt, dire need of artificial.
By the way, when is all that fish furniture going in? The reef balls.
We're working on it. I'll be talking to Cantrell after I get back and, trying to come up with a schedule and see what we're going to do here.
I think that's going to be a major plus when that happens.
Well, one of the problems, John, is having to get, 47 permission slips from all the 8 or 9 different agencies that are really starting to aggravate the hell out of me, from a conservation standpoint.
SRP.
Tonto, okay, here's
wildlife.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna get off of it.
Yeah, right.
No, get his meds quick, folks.
Okay, pass my crayons. Let's talk about SRP.
Okay.
We're going to put a 1,500-pound piece of concrete in it.
You're displacing 1 square foot of water.
It's not going to drift to the dam, and they have to do a study.
I know.
Tonto National Forest is doing a NEPA on it. Yeah, that's the same look I get. Like, you really?
Well,
and I'm just saying.
You don't want my opinion on the Tonto National Forest.
I'd like to have your opinion in writing to pass along to Neil Bosworth, because quite frankly, the way it's all going is, even with the department, we've asked them to relook at the MOUs, because going back to the closures, they don't have the budgets to do this, do that, and my question to them is, if you don't have budget to keep a toilet open, how in the hell are you coming up with money to do a NEPA? And then
they don't
keeping the ball rolling is, why are we asking you for permission to put fish in the lake? Game and Fish Department's tasked with growing game and fish.
Well,
you're tasked with keeping a park open. You can't even do that.
See, to me, it extends a little bit further than that with me. I don't believe, well, I can't say I don't believe, but I have a problem with the Forest Service telling me what we can do with our forest and our water and our forest.
You know what? I'll disagree a little bit with that, only because with the explosion of population and the number of
going to pick on OHVs. I can smell it.
You're right. I mean, I was in the Tonto before they had 15,000 miles of roads.
Yeah.
That's changed a lot because of you.
It has. And that's a direct effect on the
my hunting.
Issue.
It's everything.
It's everything across the board.
All right,
I
take my
guess
meds.
we're going to go from fishing to pounding on the government. It'll be the first time. We'll be back.
Dragging me down, gonna stand my ground. My little toy trucks, backhoes, bulldozers, moving stuff. That was my.
All righty, we're back. All right, you guys are arguing. You want me to go out and get the boxing gloves? Or
we're not arguing.
No.
But can you make him quit dancing like that?
This is one of the finest two-steppers in Arizona right here.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Man, these donuts look good.
John, you just helped yourself, man.
The double D's back.
It's all about Duncan.
We're not arguing. We're just having a conversation.
I guess what we're looking at is that based on the population explosion in Arizona, because of the few, there needs to be rules in place that protect all the rest of us.
That has something to do with the science of stupid.
Oh, yeah. Low end of the gene pool is still allowed to vote and go out into the woods by themselves. And what they do out there is the problem. You know it. I know it. We see people out there all the time who are dumb as a box of rocks.
I get it.
Some are dumber.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, I know you were visiting with Matt Salmon, Congressman Matt Salmon. How'd that work out?
You know, one of the things I really enjoy about Congressman Salmon is that, number one, he he really cares about what he does. And number two, for any of his constituents, he regularly holds open houses, like once a quarter. You know, you sign up, you can go in, you've got 15, 20 minutes with your congressman, and you can tell him exactly what's on your mind. Now, obviously, there's a whole fleet of people that are there. You know, they make sure everything, and then but you've got one-on-one time with him, and usually it's with Chuck Gray, and you sit down and you can go over some of the things. You know, unfortunately for us, we sit and talk about hunting and, you know, where we were last year when I was guiding him.
That's a good thing.
Oh yeah, that's the fun stuff. But he listens, he understands, and when I was with him last December, we had a meeting in December, and I asked that his natural resources advisor contact me, and it didn't happen, which kind of surprised me. So I went back in this time, and we chatted. He and I are going to do some stuff this year for predator hunts that are going to be fun. But we just talked. It was just more of a relaxation time for both he and I. But at the end, he said, "Well, you know, why are you here?" And I said, "Well, I wanted to talk to you about the fact that nobody from your natural resources advisors ever contacted me." And he had this shocked look on his face. He said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "Nope. Within 45 minutes of me leaving that office, his office is in Gilbert, I had a call from Washington, D.C., and this poor guy goes, "Is this John Colazar?"
Uh-oh.
Yep. He goes, "I don't know who you are, but I need to talk to you, don't I?" And I said, "Who are you?" And he goes, "My name's Greg. I'm with Congress." "Oh, yeah." I started laughing. I said, "Oh, yeah, somebody got through to you." He said, "Got through to me? Are you kidding me?" He said, "I have been told I need to talk to you, and I need to talk to you now and get it done." So
Awesome.
it helps. We're going to be emailing each other. I commented to Congressman Salmon that we're going to have next week the draft EIS from Fish and Wildlife Services regarding the Mexican gray wolf. And quite frankly, I suspect this is where we're going to have to put on our battle gear and go to war.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the proverbial line in the sand right there coming.
Well, I am never the advocate in me certainly is not going to allow the federal government to put wolves on the Strip, to put wolves up on the Kaibab, to put wolves anywhere west of the 87. And I'll fight to my dying breath on that one.
FYI, I'm getting pretty solid reports of feral hog on the Strip.
Serious?
Yep.
On the Strip?
On the Strip.
Wow.
Wow.
They need whacking.
You know, that's one heck of a long ride for a bacon burger. I mean, that's a 10-hour drive just to get up there.
That's okay. If we can get some GPS waypoints, I think it's worth a trip. I'm just saying.
You know what? You mentioned a helicopter. There's a lot to be said for flying over the Grand Canyon from here and just heading in straight drop off.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're under negotiations right now with a couple of helicopter services, one specifically, to talk to Big Game Branch Brian Wakeling about aerial gunning. They want to get involved in that.
I think that's the most appropriate way to do anything that is necessary with wildlife for controls. Whether it's predators, whether it's invasive species, whatever it is, that's the only opportunities that we have, and that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Particularly with our landscape. You know what I wouldn't want to be is I wouldn't want to be on the East Coast where they have those thick canopied forests and got those the red wolves in South Carolina. You can't see them. You can't find them from the air.
Yeah.
Out here, you can plink all day long. From
fly over Alabama once.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All you
There
see
you
is
go.
green and water.
Green and water, exactly.
Yeah. Scary place.
Well, you still don't know what was behind you in those woods half the time.
No, I don't.
Nor do you want to.
I'd be curious.
Not me.
John,
I don't want to know.
In all seriousness, they don't go in the woods. I asked these guys, Ron and Johnny, back there to pick me up at 7 o'clock, about a half hour after dark. They go, nope. They go, why? It's the best time. He goes, Don, we don't go in the woods after dark. They go, why? He goes, we don't know what's in the damn woods.
And by the way,
And
you should have seen. He had a picture of himself, and there in the background is a rental car. And the rental car...
Was it a Prius?
No. You could barely make out that it was a vehicle because somebody had taken it off-road. Rhymes with McDowell.
It was either that or walk.
Yeah,
Too many
he's not
snakes,
walking.
Snakes be walking it through that, knee-deep grass. You don't know what you're stepping on.
That's what that rental car insurance is for.
Gator time.
It is.
That's funny. That is
all
hilarious.
good. All right. what are your plans for other than 2 days on Apache and Roosevelt? Where are you going to start for your championship?
What do you mean, where are we going to start?
Which lake?
We're going to start at Apache.
Cool.
Yeah, we always do, just because of logistics, basically. You know, it's a little harder to get our equipment down there. You know, if you've never fished one of our tournaments, you need to at least come out and watch one of our weigh-ins and see the equipment we roll out.
Kudos to your weigh-in.
Well, thank you for that.
These guys,
The equipment that
they've got it going on. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you take down for your weigh-ins?
I have a flatbed trailer that has 2 aerated tanks on it.
Okay.
That are trailers themselves. They're single axle trailers that go on the big tandem axle trailer. We take those down, and then, you know, all of our easy ups, pop ups, you know,
Sure.
grill, all that stuff.
Hot dogs.
Oh man, you know what?
Better than hot dogs.
Yeah, sometimes. Speaking of which, I don't want to change the subject, but we just found something in Yuma a couple weeks ago. It's this homemade sausage thing.
Oh boy, here we come, Oscar Mayer.
Nah, this is the real McCoy, and we're going to roll some out at a tournament this year. They're the bomb. But anyway, I mean,
look at the look on his
I know,
face.
you know,
Yeah, dude.
that's the first time in the last 45 minutes that we've seen him. He gets this impish
twinkle.
grin. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's the first time.
Double D's have nothing compared to that hot dog he's talking about.
Exactly.
Sausage.
They went completely out of my mind when I started talking about the sausage, man. But it takes, 4 to 5 trucks to roll my stuff to the lake.
Wow.
Yeah. Between our stage trailer and our equipment and, a start boat. It takes...
It's a big deal.
It takes some effort.
Hauling that stuff up to a canyon and Apache with all those switchbacks, that's a lot of work.
Well, I have a place up there not too far from Apache, and to be at Apache an hour before the sun comes up, I got to get up about 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I take that
Yeah,
road
he's going
very
in from
slow.
the Tonto Basin side.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, I know where you're coming from then.
That's not
Okay.
bad. It's still a...
It's bumpy, but it's not like coming down Fish Creek Hill.
No. Okay.
I did that one day in my truck. I told my wife, I says, you know what? I said, actually, we were coming from Yuma over to here. I said, let's go through Tortilla Flats and Fish Creek Hill, because I'd never done it. And we got to the dam at Roosevelt, and she looked at me. She goes, you're never going to do that again, are you? And I said, no, ma'am.
Nuh-uh.
Not unless I have to. I mean, I just don't.
No. I don't even like
Bad
going
road
into
on a
Prius.
good day.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, we will start at Apache. We'll end up with a catered dinner and everything at Roosevelt on day 2, which will be Saturday. And we'll do our awards, and somebody's going to walk away with $10K in cash.
Wow.
So it should be a good deal. Real good deal.
How many boats are in it?
I think we have 38 or 40 qualified this year. We changed our qualifications.
That's pretty good odds.
Yeah, it is. We changed the way you qualify this year for the championship to let more people make it to the championship. And I think it's a big hit.
What are the qualifications for the upcoming season to make the championship?
Well, it's going to be the top 10 will go automatically in points, your end points.
Top 10. Okay.
Yep. And then we'll take 35% of total participation on the year. And then we'll take 15% out of the last tournament that have fished at least 4 tournaments with us, including the last tournament.
So that's inclusive then. That's
Yes.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It gives opportunities not just for best, but also people who are participants and people who support the organization.
Exactly right. And that's why we did it that way. The top 10, they deserve to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. They're the ones that have done, they performed.
Yeah. And then the 35% and the 15% are the ones that, maybe they didn't hit the home run during the season.
Yeah, but they're the backbone of the organization.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And they need to be rewarded for that.
Yeah. I could live with that.
Yeah,
Fair.
they need to be rewarded for that.
Sounds like a conservation bonus point to me.
Absolutely.
You know what? I'm all over that. What else can I do for you?
Yeah, boy. We need to get that into the concept.
I know it's going to happen.
I've been working on him, trying to get him, he's losing weight and all buff and stuff. And
I know, look at it. Have a donut, John.
If I could get him in a nightgown, we could fish couples.
Oh, don't go there. You've seen me in drag. It's not worth it.
I know.
He'd have to shave.
I'll send you the picture. I mean, he's
That's scary. That is so scary.
Well, I've seen him dance, so I believe.
All right, we'll be back with the second hour of Shake, Rattle, and Troll. When we come back, we'll be visiting with Rick over at H&M Landing, James Guggenauer with the Rum Country Fishing Report, and we'll be back. I'm Don McDowell with
John Sneed.
Special K.
We'll be right back.
Now, here's your host, saltwater fisherman, the man that fears no fish, Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro, Don McDowell.
We are back. Welcome to the second hour of Shake, Rattle, and Troll. If you're just tuning in, we've got John Sneed from All-Star Bass Circus with us. JK's in the house, and we've talked to Captain Bill over on the Malahini, just turning buoy 1, headed for the rock pile today. Tuna bites on. If you guys are waiting to go fishing, wait no further. It is on. John, a couple things. Moving into the 2015 season, 14-15, if you will, starting over at Bartlett Lake. What are your thoughts on maybe doing a conservation option? You know, we've talked about that. Is that something foreseeable, perhaps?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we have absolutely no problem doing anything like that. As a matter of fact, you know that I'm behind any of that stuff that I can get behind.
Oh, yeah. You know, before, you know, let me interrupt just again. The way you guys handle fish, I think, is just absolutely paramount. And, you know, the department's looking at minimal protocols for fish handling, and I think we're going to see that stepped up significantly this year with good reason.
Absolutely.
You know, you've got to have the bump tanks. We're talking about doing some, at Game and Fish Department, some fizzing seminars as an example, because, you know, not everybody knows how to take care of a fish, you know, if the swim bladder's inflated, that kind of thing. So.
Right, and if you're gonna bass fish, if you're gonna practice catch and release, if you're gonna tournament fish, those are things that you need to know how to do. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. You need to know how to fizz a fish. As you know, you've seen my guys do it. You know, I've got a group of guys actually that are very capable and do it at each and every tournament. And I think it would be awesome to get with Game and Fish and do some seminars on how to do it. You know, we can roll our tanks out and catch some fish and put them in there. And
oh, cool.
You know, I mean, we're behind that. And back to the option thing, I mean, I'd be more than happy to add that type of an option. You know, we'd make it like a 50-50 type deal.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. Well, there's got to be something in for the anglers.
Well, absolutely.
You know, I think that's the only way we're going to get things done is getting the anglership in. And, you know, we're really proud of what the Gila County Roundtable has produced over there on Roosevelt with James Guggenauer. James has done a good job getting those guys, it's kind of twofold, getting them engaged.
And keeping them engaged.
And keeping them engaged.
Yes.
And moving the meeting time off of 7 o'clock next door to the pub over there. That first one, woo!
Can't do that too late. Otherwise,
well, you know, I think you guys ought to have a, you know, AES or a Elk Society meeting at Hooters.
Oh, my God.
You know, in Holston Happy.
Yeah, the annual election there, right? Yeah, nobody would leave. The 2 o'clock call.
Wow.
Final vote.
Yeah, you know, John's trying to figure out how to practice catch and release on bull elk. So I don't know how that's working out for you.
No. You know, that's the one thing I have to admit. If I'm going to spend that much energy to catch a fish, he's going down. I'm going to eat that sucker. You know, and if I would never, ever I mean, you look at that bull. I've been eating on that bull now for 7, 8, 9, 10 months.
Yep.
10 months. I am not about to stop.
It's time to restock.
Oh, yeah. Yes, my son better shoot well because I'll be really irritated if I don't have bull elk next year all year long.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, what were you doing out in the woods with a paintball pistol?
That was not me. No,
never happened. I'm just saying.
Never. Although, you know, some of that's kind of fun.
You know, you see the 6x7 running there with big orange spots.
That's at it. Yep.
Yeah.
That's me.
You know, I really have to wonder about his never will happen. I just saw a picture of him in a dress.
I just sent that to you.
God.
I wanted you to put that before your tournament committee to see if that would qualify for my couples partner.
He was kind of sexy.
Except for the knobby knees. One knee's bigger than the other, but, you can overlook some stuff.
You take a look at those hands, you go, holy crap.
It's not it's the Adam's apple.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Halloween, I'll never forget that one.
Halloween.
Yeah,
I thought that was last Thursday.
No, that was Halloween 5 years ago.
I thought you were going out clubbing.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's going to redefine
scary.
clubbing right there.
Somebody take a club to that.
Yeah, that'd be a hate crime. Dude.
On both ends.
Wow. I'll tell you what, tournament fishing, for people that don't tournament fish, they just don't know what they're missing,
Well, I agree. I mean, early on in life, I started doing it. I fished my first tournament when I was 16 with a neighbor of mine. And he'd been doing it for a number of years. And then as time went on over there in San Diego, I fished for 20 years with the same partner, same team tournament partner for 20 years, and just had an awesome time doing it. And then he up and passed away on me. Didn't ask me if he could or nothing, just up and did it.
Did you guys have a pact? We do that.
Yeah, we do.
We're just coming off a dress conversation, so.
Well, no. It's like Harry and Tom, they fish together, from little kids all throughout their life, and, they're getting up there in years, and they made this deal with one another. Okay, whoever dies first has to come back and tell the other one if there's bass fishing beyond.
That's right.
And, Tom went first, and, Harry's like, God, I haven't heard from Tom. Harry got sick, and he's laying there in the hospital on his deathbed, and all of a sudden, poof, there's Tom. And Harry goes, man, where have you been? He goes, you're supposed to come back and tell me. He goes, well, he says, it's good news, bad news. The good news is there's so much fishing up there, and I've been so busy that I just haven't been able to come back. The bad news is tomorrow you're my team partner.
That's bad.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
You get your code ring and your Oscar Mayer wiener whistle. We're going fishing.
By the way, I want to know where is this sausage marketplace that you found down in the Yuma area?
Well, it's really funny because some friends of ours that live up in Tonto Basin, Cozy was born and raised in Yuma. So she calls us up, and I can't even remember the name of the dang things right now, but she calls us up, and she says, because we're going up there to their house for the weekend. She goes, can you get some Kamen? They're called Kamen sausages. She goes, can you find
Coleman sausages from Cozy.
Cozy.
Well, that's a hell of a name for a woman, Cozy.
Well, her full name is Cosette, but she goes by Cozy.
Cosette.
Yeah. Awesome lady.
Okay.
Totally awesome lady. Anyway, we do some research and come to find out, I don't know, you guys not being from Yuma have probably never heard of Olson's Market.
There are 6 people from Yuma.
Nah.
And there's a whole lot of transplants that are sweltering down there at the moment.
Well, you got a point there. So anyway, she puts it out on Facebook or something, then a friend of a friend, this is your typical dope deal. Friend of a friend calls a friend and texts her and says, you got to get a hold of so-and-so to get a hold of so-and-so's phone number, and so-and-so can call so-and-so, and you can end up with 10 pounds of the sausage.
Walmart parking lot after 10.
No, I guarantee you it's not Walmart.
Long story short, I called this lady that another mutual friend gave me her phone number, and she lives like not a 16th of a mile away from where I live. And she's one of the Olson's kids from the old days, and she keeps it in her freezer. So you get 10 pounds for $40. And the stuff is awesome.
Now, are these link sausage, patty sausage?
They're link, really? And they're about, I know you guys were not on TV, but they're about that big around.
Yeah, you are. See that camera right there?
And about that long.
Yes.
They're about that big around. And about
That's
that
banana-sized sausage.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Hey, look at that. What a concept.
And the worst part of it is they're kind of spicy, so you have to have them with a beer.
That's a given. Anytime you have sausage, you have to have beer.
Yeah.
Bass fishing in Budweiser. I'm just saying.
Double D's in the morning and Bud in the afternoon.
Man, them donuts look good.
Oh, just help yourself. That's what they're here for. Yeah. When we come back, we're going back to San Diego. We'll be right back.
Going to your head.
All right, and we're back. Hey, we're with our buddy Rick over at H&M Landing Tackle Shop there in Point Loma. Rick, what's happening, brother?
Tuna, what's happening, man? Big bluefin, lots of yellowfin, lots of yellowtail.
How big of a bluefin?
Well, I know of 3 fish over 100 pounds that came in today.
Oh, nice.
Oh. Several more of 80 plus. I know the Ranger 85 had a really good score. They got 80 bluefin, 5 yellowfin, and 7 yellowtail. They were all fishing well within California waters.
Wow.
Oh.
Had those big bluefin eating off the kite, eating 100 pound.
So I need to rethink putting 40 pound on there, huh?
40 is a good one to start with. Most of those fish aren't 80, and you can get an 80-pound fish on 40 pound with no problem. But, bring some big stuff just in case. Just in case. Bring some big stuff.
Hey, I've got a question. We've got the hmlanding.com daily fish count up. I've noticed a couple of asterisks that the let's say the Blue Horizon, as an example, was fishing in U.S. waters only. You know where they were?
Yes. But I can't tell you.
They were in the water.
Well, thanks for playing along today, Rick. I really talk to you.
That's one of the bad things about having small boats listening to radio stations.
Yeah. Okay.
Tough enough getting on those fish without having to
Share.
tie with 100 other boats.
Well, yeah.
80,000 of your best friends.
I get all
right.
that. Trust me, I was on Blue
Like
Horizon for 16 months, and that was one of the big things we had to fight as the private yachting boats.
Oh yeah.
Following the chum line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Back
were,
in the day, we had gunfights on the Galilean. No, I'm serious. Yeah, this boat was so close, he came trolling through the chum line. One of the deckhands
I bet.
threw a big iron out there, scooped up his line, cut him, and Houlihan got on the bullhorn and said, "This is the boat, sport boat." Galilean, we will dock at H&M Landing at 6:30 p.m. Be there. And the 30-30s were out.
You know what?
Yeah, boy.
I wouldn't be surprised with Hooley.
Oh, yeah.
I've got plenty of other stories about him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. Him and Bobby Woods and, well, let's not go there.
Well, Bobby's pretty easy going compared to Hooley was.
Oh, man.
And
yeah.
a couple others down there.
I know, but they all got on TV for managing seal populations.
Yeah, they weren't the only ones.
Back in the day.
They weren't the only ones. You heard Hooley passed, didn't you?
No.
Yeah, he passed away.
Really?
Yeah. I guess about a year ago, maybe a little more.
Was he up in Alaska still?
He was in Idaho.
Oh.
But he was still doing that in the part of the season.
God bless him.
Yep. Well,
wow.
Praying helps. He was on his way because he only did a lot of that.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
but the tuna fishing is good. You know what? A couple of boats had local charters, relatively local charters to the Coronado Islands, and they went inside there yesterday, and the yellowtail just are going off at the islands. You know, they were catching nice quality fish, 20 to 30 pound fish, any way you want it, limited out every stop. The Premier was the only one that went there yesterday, and they got limits for all 27 of their people.
Oh my gosh!
Really good yellowtail fishing.
That's awesome.
There's even been a few of those fish up north of the border, up on the kelp beds. Ooh. But they know where the kelp is.
Yeah, well,
at least half of them they hook.
We talked to Captain Bill on the Malahini as they were turning the point this morning.
Oh, very good.
And I didn't get to ask him. I'll ask you. What is the patty situation?
The patties, they're a mix of fish. There's some patties that are holding those smaller fish, and sometimes this year I've seen 40-pound fish come off those patties.
Yeah, but
I haven't seen a lot of them.
Excuse me?
Haven't seen a lot of patties though.
Okay, that's kind of where I was going with that because early on there was real spotty. I was just wondering if any more of it had blown up.
Nothing really. It's still pretty spotty. I know I got back from a 4-day on Monday, and we saw maybe one or two.
Ooh.
Yeah. But we had plenty of free swimming fish around, so that wasn't a problem.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Thank God I have meters now.
Yeah, how about the plastic swim baits? Are they being productive?
You know what? There were a few fish caught on the slide on that, but the thing that's probably been the best slide bait is mega baits and those P-line laser minnow type lures.
Oh, really?
Those have been killer. I went out. I got 5 fish on 5 drops the other day. 5 troll spots on those on the mega baits.
Nice.
Okay, well, I'm bringing my son, my brother Patrick. We're heading out of here early Thursday morning, so put a bag of them together for me. I'll pick them up for you as we sign in. We're going out on Sea Adventure 80 for
Thursday. You said, huh?
Thursday. Yep.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some into a buddy of mine. And I'm going to have him change some rings and hooks on there for you, so you can make sure you get them.
I'll need some. While I'm shopping here, I'll need some 3/4 ounce triangular lead heads with the traditional 3DI silver and black.
We'll see. We can take good care of you. Also, on that note, change if you get those mega baits and even the laser minnows, buy yourself some owner stingers or some gamakatsus 4X hooks and switch them out. And if you know somebody who can give you weld solid rings, put those on too, because I've seen hooks broken off, the lighter weight hooks broken and pulled.
Yep.
But those heavy duty hooks really put the fish on the boat.
I think I still have a few. I'll have to look. I don't think I've got time to have them made.
Well, I think
we got a guy here that makes them.
I'll get a few done for you.
All right, roger that. Okay, so I need to bring you a shirt and a hat. What size shirt you wear?
Unfortunately, extra large.
Not a problem. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. That's what Don wears.
Nothing if I was talking about putting a Ferrari under a carport, but that's about it.
Nice.
I love it, Rick.
You gotta love fishermen, man. I love this guy. All right, my friend. Anything else you want to add other than?
If you want to go fishing, it's the best time of year to do it. No matter what you want to do, give us a call at 619-222-1144 or go to hmlanding.com and book online. We'd love to have you out here.
All right, we'll see you Thursday, brother.
See you Thursday. Bye-bye.
There you got it.
You know what?
Bam.
I just did the math on this while you guys were chatting in my head. If you can catch tuna and it goes for $12 a pound and you hook into, say, 3 fish and you bring back about 30 pounds of fillets, you're making money by driving over and spending the day
fishing. It pays for the trip.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a lot more fun than going to the market.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Quality of life goes way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like having an elk in the freezer. Yummo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You look at that every day, you open that freezer and go, yeah, I can have that again. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can make that.
Yeah.
Barbecue.
Yeah. So where are you and Matt Salmon going to go elk hunting? You going to go to New Mexico?
No.
Colorado?
No.
I know you're not going here.
I am.
Are. Yeah, but
yeah. No, he's actually recovering from shoulder surgery, torn rotator cuff, so he can't even pull back a bow yet, but he's working on it. He didn't put in for the deer.
Doesn't his trigger finger work?
He's an archer like I am. He likes that better. I'm going to convert you. Archery has its own special allure.
Absolutely.
Been there, done that, but there's nothing like 180 grain silver tip going zippity-doo-dah whack.
You know, the old saying is when you see an elk at 300 yards when you're rifle hunting,
he's dead.
The hunt's over. When you see a bull elk at 300 yards and you're archery hunting, the hunt's just beginning. And it's true. You know, that's the fun of it.
Well, yeah, I could have fun shooting.
I know. Yeah.
Give me a pellet gun and a prairie dog. I'll get in trouble every time.
Well, you and I may philosophically differ to some extent.
There's no disagreement. I get it. I love archery hunting, but
I know if you want food, you got to do it.
You know, I've had some outstanding hunts in some of the
Well, I've done, out of the 4 bulls I've gotten, 2 have been rifle, 2 have been archery. And archery to me is obviously the most extreme challenge.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, there's no question about that. So, and my son, that's the best way to get drawn as well. I mean, you can wait 15 years for a premium hunt in Arizona. You can go every 7 if you do it archery. And if you really want to kick yourself in the butt, do a late season archery hunt, which is in November.
Yeah.
And I call that camping with a bow, but, go for it.
Well, here's the choice. Lock, load, pull the string. Lock, load, pull the trigger. I'm just saying.
The religion of John versus the religion of Don.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Get the barbecue sauce.
Exactly
Oh, that's
right.
You went archery hunting. Except for last year.
Last year's bull.
Have you got your bull pictures on your phone?
I'm going to show them during the break.
With Brother Sneed. All right, hey, when we come back, James Guggenauer, Rim Country Fishing Report. We're going to find out what's happening on Mother Roosevelt. We'll be back.
Left my truck at the boat ramp and my boat is full of gas. My old boss thinks I'm sick today. He won't have me to harass, 'cause I'm out here on the river.
And he can kiss my big old bass.
Right on. Hey, Brother James, what's happening in downtown Payson where the weather is always nice?
It is nice up here, Don. Good morning to you and JK and Big John.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
So what's happening up there? Anything good?
Well, we started out our report this week talking about 2 meetings, and you guys have addressed them here, but just to be explicit, we're going to have another Gila County Roundtable. This was going to be at the Chamber of Commerce meeting in Tonto Basin, and it's on July 28th, and it will start promptly at 6. Make that 6 p.m.
Okay. Drinks start at 8:30.
And then the second meeting is the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, and this is on the environmental impact study, a draft environmental impact study that has been completed by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. Isn't it funny how fast they can do an environmental impact study when they really need to?
When they have to.
Yeah.
When it's in their favor.
That's up in Shola. When is that? What's the date? I saw it, but I can't remember.
August 11th.
Yeah.
At the Hyundai Hotel and Casino up there in Pine Top. So we're going to be asking, once again, big crowds to show up here. We've already sent some emails out to some of the local politicians. We're trying to get a good turnout there.
Have you heard any? It's this week that they're going to release the DEIS, correct?
Yes, the 25th, I heard, is coming out.
All right. That's next Friday.
So we'll be able to at least see it before the meeting. But, I suspect just like the other meetings that they've had, they're probably going to have a big turnout of pro and con for the Mexican gray wolves. And so the best we can do is just keep showing up and keep saying the same things over and over again.
By the way, this time, when they try and say that 70% of Arizonans want to see wolves on the ground, we know that it's a lie, and we can prove it.
Right.
And you're going to remind him of that?
Oh, I guarantee you I'm going to go up to the mic and I'm going to remind him that,
bam, bam.
The gig is up. We know what you did. We know how you did what you did, and it's a joke, so don't even bother.
Right. So, but on the good side, the bass fishing on Roosevelt Lake was called good this past week. Just like trout fishing and a lot of other fishing this time of year, the best bites are reported early in the morning or right after sunset up until about midnight. The lake continues to drop. We're at 41% full this week, but the good news is because of the monsoons, the Salt River has picked up pretty dramatically this past week. This morning it's flowing at over 250 cubic feet per second, which is about 125% of its normal rate.
Ooh.
So we're hoping for more monsoons. We want to keep that going.
Yeah.
We may dodge the blow-up bullet, hopefully.
Right. Yeah, that's what some of the locals are talking about down there. And as long as we get some water flowing in, now the Tonto Creek is just a trickle this past week. But, the more water, like John was saying earlier, the more water in the lake, the better it's going to perform.
Yep.
The two techniques that were reported this week, and this is not different for summertime, is a drop shot and a Carolina rig. Both of those were reported successful this past week. Most guys are fishing main lake points or near a drop-off area, and most bass are being found in 15 to 35 feet of water. So, pretty steady summertime type thing. And, you can probably talk to John more about this because he's an expert at this. John, any report on a frog bite this past week?
I don't know about up there at Roosevelt, Jim, but I know every place else there's a heck of a frog bite on right now.
Yeah, I'd heard on Roosevelt that's true too. Once again, in the evening, in the backs of coves, but you got to have stick ups. An area like from Windy Hill working up towards Schoolhouse,
right,
on the roadside,
right.
Seems like a good area to fish right there.
I was just telling J.K. and Don earlier that I fished a little tournament down at the river with a friend of mine last weekend out of Martinez. Excuse me. And we threw frogs all day long and caught fish all day long. It's just awesome.
And it's a fun way to fish, too.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, exactly. You never want to go home when there's a frog bite on.
That's for sure. Hey, on the crappie, guys are telling me if you're trolling for crappie this time of year, you're wasting your time. The crappie schools are in the biggest bushes or the biggest submerged trees or logs that you can find. You want to fish them vertically. You want to use like a bait called a little fishy, which is made by the Cream Bait Company. It's a little 1-inch silver and blue back artificial bait, or a 2-inch motor oil and chartreuse tail grub. But they are right in the trees. You got to lower it, not just to the top of the tree or above the tree. You got to be in the tree because that's where the crappie are right now.
That's hard fishing.
Yeah, and for the guys that are fishing at night, it's always a live minnow for nighttime fishing.
Do you have any report at all, Jim, on the quality of fish being caught up there?
Guys are saying, I was talking to Clifford the other day, and he was out with a guide trip last week, and he thought that the fish looked very healthy.
Awesome.
He was saying that, numbers are down. We think that that's pretty well known. And but he said the ones that are in there are looking good. And the same thing with the crappie. The ones that are being caught are the adult crappie, so they're fairly large. But one of the dilemmas, and this is what we talked to the Game and Fish commissioners about, is that if you look at the distribution of crappies that are being caught, they're more towards the large end. And that's a little worrisome that we don't have a normal distribution of crappie in the lake. And that tells us that, in the future, that could turn out to be a big problem for the crappie handlers.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But at least they're healthy. That's always a good thing.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Hey, and then the trout fishing up on the Rim Lakes, called excellent again this past week. I don't know if a lot of the listeners know this, but most every lake up on the Rim is being stocked with anywhere from 2,500 to 5,000 rainbow trout, depending on the week. So there's fun times to be fishing up on the Rim Lakes. And small crankbaits, which is a good summertime technique, or salmon eggs and power baits are all working really good up on the Rim Lakes right now.
How about some Z-rays?
I didn't get any reports. I know that's your special, JK. I didn't get any talk on that. One thing that we wanted, I talked to a couple of guys that kind of reminded me to say this, is that trout don't have a very hard mouth. You can rip a hook out of a trout pretty easily. So we're recommending that you use a light or medium power fishing rod with a moderate action on it, and just slow and steady pressure. Keep the rod tip up. You don't need to be gripping the hook like you would for a bass.
Yeah, you can't set it in them because you're going to set it right out of it.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So slow and steady. That's what we tell our young kids up here that are fishing down at Green Valley.
I'm going to catch some trout in Green Valley one of these days. I'm going to take a day and just sit there from daylight on. That's it. And I'm going to use that B word, bobber.
Bobber.
It's a strike indicator. Come on, get with it.
Okay, Jim, one quick question. Have you heard any talking going on with the elk yet? Have you heard any squeals or squeaks?
No, but, this one 5x5 bull elk I've been telling you about.
Yep.
The other day, for whatever reason, I'm coming back from running the dog, so it's probably about 5:30 in the morning, and he's walking up the front street, and he spent the whole day in the lower 2 acres that we have here. He just stayed down there all day. He'd get up and feed and lay back down, get up and feed.
Yeah, they don't, at this point in time, they're not moving much. They're done with their growth pretty much. This is the end of it. I guarantee you within the next 2 weeks, you're going to see a whole lot of velvet hanging from one of your trees.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting there.
Yeah.
The antlers appear to be real dark, or turning dark, the velvet does.
Yep. That means it's not, the blood supply is choking off, and they're going to start getting itchy, and they're going to scrape it off. Then you're going to see really white antlers for a while, and then it's game on.
Right. We're ready up here.
All righty. Give me the date and time for the next roundtable meeting real quick.
Yep, it's going to be on July 28th at 6 p.m. at the Chamber of Commerce building down in Toronto Basin.
All righty. Hey, good report. Thanks for playing along with us. You be safe, and we'll see you on the 28th.
I'll talk to you this week, Don.
All righty. James Guggenauer, Rim Country Custom Rods. Check it out. .com. We're going to flip into a break when we come back. We're going to get this thing rounded up and get on with the day. I am Don McDowell, and you are?
Special K.
And
John Sneed.
Yeah, we'll be back.
I've got some big news. The bank finally came through, and I'm holding the keys to a brand new Chevrolet. Have you been outside?
Brand new Chevrolet.
Sure is nice now.
Oh,
that for me.
Yeah, Kim Carter, Don Luke going to be real happy about that.
Thrilled.
R-A-M. Spell it. Come on.
R-A-M.
R-A-M. Eco Diesel.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Even you can have one.
I'll tell you what, that 28 miles per gallon.
That's pretty attractive.
That's awesome.
It is. It's an awesome truck. They've just done such a wonderful job on the complete redesign on that truck. The frame, they've lightened the frame, boxed it, made it stronger, and the creature comforts on the inside are just wow.
Well, lighter and stronger is always good with the activities we all do.
Yep, absolutely. All righty. Any last words on All-Star Bass tournaments? We haven't talked about all the different events that you have.
Well, we do all kinds of stuff. I mean, we do our regular team tournaments. You and I need to sit down and talk. We're going to probably do something with the kids deal again, with some different avenues, to travel this time. Yeah. And then we do several different benefit type tournaments. We do the firemen's tournament every year for them, which is open to all the firemen in the state of Arizona. And they're always right at 98, 99 boats. They can't break 100 boats. Maybe this year they'll get that done. And it's a 2-day thing. It's on a Tuesday and Wednesday, middle of the week when nobody's on the lake.
Nice.
And it's sponsored by Budweiser, and they bring steaks out. Each steak's like a side of beef. And, I mean, we really enjoy doing that tournament.
The firemen eat well.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, they drink pretty good, too.
Yeah.
They're not rookies, I'm here to tell you. And we do that, and then this past year we did one for the food bank that I hope that we're going to do again. Yeah. You were at that one. You and Jan came up to that one.
That was fun.
And, just different things. We've got our team deal all signed, sealed, and delivered for this year. Like I say, we're going to start Bartlett October 25th. Come on out and see us. If nothing else, come out and check out the weigh-in. It's pretty impressive to watch, if I do say so myself.
You do a good job.
Thank you on that. And, as the year rolls out, if somebody comes to us and says, hey, we need to raise some money for this organization or that, I mean, we're more than happy to jump in and do a tournament.
Anything special for seniors?
Well, it's
per se?
Yeah, it's special that they're still able to fish.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, and you don't have to worry about your knees, John. We have chairs. We give you a booty seat.
No, we do have a seniors option in our regular team thing. We don't.
Oh, that's cool.
I've tossed around for the last 4 or 5 years doing a full-blown seniors tournament circuit.
Yeah.
But I mean a true seniors tournament circuit where you got to be 55, 60, not combined age, not one guy, but both guys.
Yeah, I get that.
Just been throwing that around, and
just make sure you have the electrodes and the paddles out at the shore.
Yeah. Well, like I say, we do the firemen's tournament. There's
a lot of paddles for the couples tournament.
But we've got some more things in the works for this year. I'm looking forward to an exciting season. It should be a good one.
Yep. Looking forward to it. I think Jimmy Dwight and I are probably going to team up.
Good.
Yeah, bad. Shame on you.
No,
you ever had Jimmy at one of your weigh-ins?
No, but he's more than welcome to come.
Oh yeah, at least the first one.
At least the first one.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, we're just looking forward to a good year, Don. As you know, you and I have had conversations. There's some pretty wholesale changes going on with us, but, when one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah, how about the aluminum circuit best bets?
We're going to take a season off from that and focus on the teams. I think, and this is just my thought process, is that the couples and the aluminum and all that stuff was taken away a little bit from our team thing. And, the team tournament is our crown jewel.
Sure, absolutely.
And we really are going to focus on that this year. Janet and I have some plans, some ideas to roll out, some new sponsors to promote and roll out. So, like I say, I'm looking forward to a really, really good year.
Awesome. Should be. Yep. Any parting shots on behalf of Special K?
Yeah, this is the big week for us. The draft EIS is coming out, and I think that it's appropriate. Shake, Rattle, and Troll on our website, we're offering the movie Crying Wolf for free.
Wow.
You can actually get it from Shake, Rattle, and Troll website. You need to watch it to understand the politics and the ripoff that occurred in placing Canadian wolves in the United States. So
that's a bad thing.
Yeah, and it's under What's Hot. That's what you need to look at.
What's Hot?
What's Hot on the website.
What's hot is you at a dress.
I knew it. See, he's coming over to the dark side now.
The dark side.
Luke,
okay, we've got out of the dark with Mark and the dark side with Special K. Oh, man. What the hell is happening here?
The world's gone bad.
Yeah, you know what? The other thing I'd highly recommend watching is Blue.
Blue, yeah.
Yep.
I need to watch that yet.
Yeah, he does. J.D. King he does a great job. 23-year-old filmmaker John went out and was doing some wildlife documentary. Got enthralled in this wolf issue. Exposed most all of it for what it is.
Fraud.
Right. Fraud.
Yeah, fraud. Thank you. Lies, all lies. And then got into the green movement and exposes that particular myth, global warming, and so on and so on and so on. And
he really attacks the fact that so many natural resources are being clouded and property rights are being denied and possibilities for employment, everything up and down the whole line.
Agenda 21.
Yeah, really, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And, quite frankly, I'm a little concerned about, 20 years from now, what are they going to be doing? They'll take a look at you and I and go, okay, we don't need you anymore. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Lights out.
That's the other thing. I'd highly recommend Googling Agenda 21. In fact, on the ShakeRattleandTroll.com website, we've got a couple of clips from Glenn Beck on Agenda 21. And you look at it and listen to it and then look around and see what's happening to land restriction, property rights, losing access. And then John Wright is absolutely correct, because in the overall big picture, the guys that are behind Agenda 21, which goes back to 1992, Clinton and Bush and the United Nations signing this particular piece of work are using the term sustainable development, and we keep hearing that, and it's a main term. And right in the middle of this, and I don't know who they are.
It's the environmental movement. Come on.
They want to depopulate the earth up to 85%.
They want us to no longer eat meat. They want us to grow agrarian. They want us to be, instead of hunter-gatherers, simply gatherers.
And die.
Yeah. I mean, they're looking at a total vegan diet where there is no meat. They claim there is absolutely no necessity to have any form of meat for your protein. You can take B12, which is the vitamin deficiency that people suffer from who are true vegans.
Have you ever seen a healthy-looking vegetarian?
No,
you figure it out.
They've done some studies that those people are more neurotic and they tend to have issues later after they've been true vegans. I've read the studies, so I know it's a fact. I mean, it's a very rigid lifestyle.
Yeah, stop out at Starbucks in Scottsdale.
I know, we've seen them. I'm not saying that you should have a porterhouse at every meal. I think a balanced diet is a necessity.
Absolutely.
You and I had a great meal. Your bride helped cook it.
Eat your vegetables.
And select. We had the best. We had prime elk venison cut up into cubes and
nice.
Yeah, crock pot cooked.
Nice.
It was an awesome meal, and we walked out there, and I guarantee you each one of us lost weight. That's how good it was, and it was fabulous. That's what we need to do.
Now I got to eat a donut.
They're biodegradable.
The double D dark side. It's calling your name, John.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. Wow. Sometimes that's all I can say is just wow. John, God love you, man. Thanks for coming down. And,
thanks for having me, Don.
Looking forward to the October 25th kickoff of the 2014 Team All-Star Circuit. Bartlett Lake, man. Be there. I don't have anything else to say.
We're good. We're good, Baz Daddy.
Google Agenda 21. Check it out. We'll talk more about that.
Fillets coming back.
Yeah.
Amen.
All right, hey, man, take your kids fishing, hug your bass boat, and we're out of here.